Is Nvidia stock a buy? This stock's up 400% in the last 10 months. So today we're going to dive deep into Nvidia and see if I should be buying Nvidia right now. I cannot wait to share this with you guys today. Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the financial education channel where we talk about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and the stock market like we're going to do today. And we're going to look at Nvidia. Is Nvidia stock a buy? This stock is just a beast over the past year. It's one of the best performing stocks in the entire stock market over the past year. So we're going to dive deep. We're going to look at this one. We're going to see if I should be buying it. So many of you guys had requested this stock. So why don't you guys go ahead and let me know what stock you would love to see me break down on next week's episode of Is It a Buy? I would love to see what you guys have. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video today. Let's go ahead and get into this Nvidia. So first off, look at this freaking chart on Nvidia. It is ridiculous. In February 2016, remind you, we're at the end of December 2016 now. February 2016, the stock was a $25 stock. And look where it's at now in that chart. Up over 400%. In 10 months, guys. 10 months, over a 400% gain. Congrats to anybody who happened to be a buyer in Nvidia back in February. Holy smokes, do you have a phenomenal gain. So this stock has caught a lot of people's attention because it's probably the best performing stock in the entire stock market. And that's probably why so many of you guys have requested this stock lately. So let's go ahead and start digging in here. So first off, we're looking at the annual report, which is in the investor relations page on the Nvidia website. And we're looking at, what is this Nvidia? What is this company? What do they do? So we're going to read the first two paragraphs here. Nvidia is the world leader in visual computing. It enables us to open up new avenues of exploration, facilitate creativity and discovery, and power breakthroughs in new areas like artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and autonomous cars. Beginning as a PC graphics chip company, Nvidia has transformed into a specialized platform company that targets four large markets: gaming, professional visualization, data center, and automotive, where visual computing is essential and valued. We are focused on delivering value through PC, mobile, and cloud architectures. Our vertical integration enables us to bring together hardware, system software, program algorithms, systems and services to create unique value for the markets that we serve. So basically, Nvidia gets the majority of their money from gaming. They don't get it from like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I looked into this. I looked at the chip breakdowns on these on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. The Xbox One, nowhere does it have a Nvidia chip in it. Nowhere could I find a Nvidia chip in it, anywhere. And then the PlayStation 4, same exact thing. They use AMD chips. They do not use the Nvidia chips. So the two biggest, I guess you could say, gaming platforms, PlayStation and Xbox, actually don't even use their chips. But what does use their chips is a lot of high-end laptops, a lot of PCs that serious gamers love to play on, and so that's how Nvidia gets a lot of its money. And then we're going to get into some of their growing segments like data centers and autonomous vehicles and some of those kinds of things, which are growing very rapidly for them. And that's kind of the future for them, because gaming, although gaming's still a great business for them, they still get the majority of their money there. They have to find a way to get to that next level of growth. So that's going to be part of what we look at today, those new avenues of growth that have propelled the stock to ridiculous levels here, guys. So let's look at the financials on this company over the last few years. So they went from $4.1 billion in revenue in January 26, 2014, that year. Then they did $4.6 billion in 2015. 2016, they did just over $5 billion in revenue. Very impressive. Gross profit there of $2.8 billion last year. Very impressive. Then we go ahead and go down to net income there. Net income actually went down a little bit from 2016 to 2015. It went from $631 million in net income in 2015 to $614 million in 2016. This was mainly because of a restructuring charge of $131 million. that you can see there kind of in the middle of everything, all the mumbo jumbo there. So basically, they are growing revenues. They did suffer a little bit of net income down last year just because of that restructuring charge, but the growth is just decent here. This is nothing amazing, guys. This is nothing amazing. This is just, that's decent growth, you know, nothing to like go 400%. So right now I'm trying to figure out, why is this stock up a ridiculous amount over the past 10 months? Because based upon the last few years, this stock should not be up like that. It's just a decent growing company. Now let's go ahead and look at that balance sheet. This balance sheet is silly. It's just silly balance sheet here. Holy smokes, and silly in a good way. Almost $600 million in cash and cash equivalents. Marketable securities, which is short-term, long-term investments, $4.4 billion. Then we go down there to the liability section. They have no long-term debt whatsoever, guys. And they do have a short-term debt of $1.4 billion, but still, that is just a ridiculously great balance sheet. They have basically $3.5 billion more in cash and investments than they do any type of debt. So I would say that's a very, very nice balance sheet Nvidia has here, especially for the company of their size. It's a very, very impressive balance sheet. Now let's go ahead and look at their latest results, and then we're going to kind of see why this stock might be up as much as it is. So these latest results here, look at this. Record revenue of $2 billion, up 54% from a year ago. Record GAAP EPS of 83 cents, up 89% from a year ago, and non-GAAP EPS of 94 cents, up 104% from a year ago. That growth is astonishing, especially for a company their size. That is absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing growth. I mean, it's a pretty, you know, it's not a huge company by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a pretty decent sized company. So to have that type of growth in a company like that, that is freaking ridiculous. It's one thing if I can grow my photography business 54% in revenue next year. It's another thing when you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation and you can grow revenue at that type of clip. And then the profits 100% on a non-GAAP basis, 104%, that's freaking ridiculous. So that's probably part of the reason why this stock is up massively over the last 10 months. When you post results like that, it shocks the world and it blows everybody out of the water and they go, whoa, are you kidding me? They did that? Okay, so let's go on to this next part here. So now we're looking at these two paragraphs, which is basically the CEO talking about what happened in the latest quarter. We had a breakout quarter. Record revenue, record margins, and record earnings were driven by strength across all product lines, said John Han-Sang-Gang, the founder and chief executive officer of Nvidia. Our new Pascal GPUs are fully ramped and enjoying great success in gaming, VR, which stands for virtual reality, self-driving cars, and data center AI computing. We have invested years of work and billions of dollars to advance deep learning. Our GPU deep learning platform runs every AI artificial intelligence framework and is available in cloud services from Amazon, IBM, Microsoft, Alibaba, and in our servers from every OEM. GPU deep learning has sparked a new wave of innovations that will usher in the next era of computing. So basically, he's all jacked up. They got some awesome stuff here going on, guys. Some stuff that it's hard for me to wrap my head around some of the stuff they're doing in the cloud and how that will pay off. And me understanding the business, maybe some of you guys kind of understand how that will pay off. That's the whole cloud game is very hard for me to figure out. How, and when they talk about where the computing innovation of the future and those kinds of things, it's a little hard for me to understand, well, what's that really mean? What's that mean as far as profits and revenue in the future? That's a little hard for me to understand, but obviously they're very excited about the future. I would love to know more about it. It's just a little confusing for me. I'm not too ashamed to say that, honestly. So let's look at some other things here. So this is some more third quarter highlights. They announced that the Nvidia gaming technology will power the Nintendo Switch, which is a new Nintendo system coming out in, I believe, the springtime, home gaming system. It expanded its line of Pascal GPUs with GeForce, blah, 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 and all these type of PC gamings, introduced GeForce GTX 1080, blah, 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 for notebooks, giving gamers a state-of-the-art gaming platform and beautifully designed notebooks. That's beautiful. And then we go on here, and I saw something that blew my mind. In automotive, they announced that its Nvidia Drive PX2 platform will power all new autopilot systems in all of the Tesla Motor Factory's produced vehicles, the Model S, the Model X, and the upcoming Model 3. This is huge. This is the biggest thing I saw out of all this, because Tesla, we know their numbers they're just doing right now are insane. And they haven't even come out with the Model 3. The Model 3 has ridiculous pre-order numbers, and it hasn't even been launched yet. So Tesla is obviously the car of the future. We know this. They're going to be probably the Apple of cars. We know this. Now, of course, how profitable they'll be and all those kinds of things, that's a whole different story. But we know Tesla is dominating. We know Tesla has all the excitement in the car game right now. We know consumers are moving to Tesla in rapid pace, and Tesla can't even produce vehicles fast enough to keep up with the demand. Those are things we do know. And the fact that Nvidia is going to be the autopilot system in all those cars, that's very impressive to me. One, because Tesla's going to sell a freaking lot of cars over the next decade, and they're going to be the ones that are the winners in that. And then two, that they could have that great of innovation. The new autopilot systems are absolutely amazing in the Teslas. And to do that type of innovation, it's very impressive to me as a potential investor that you guys could do that. What else can you do? What else can you do? Because that is freaking impressive. If you guys have seen some of the autopilot systems in these new Teslas, they're ridiculous. They're absolutely ridiculous. So that is very phenomenal to see here, guys. So let's go ahead and look at some of the basic numbers and some of the other statistics we're going to look at here. So the stock today closed around $109. Its 52-week range is $24.75 all the way up to $119.93. So it's toward its 52-week high. They have a PE ratio currently of 72. Ooh, that's a little painful. They have a small dividend they pay of about 0.5%. And then they have a forward PE of about 40. So when I look at this stock, guys, I say it's not a buy for me. It's not a buy for me. Not because the ridiculous growth or any of those kinds of things. Not because I'm not excited about the Tesla autopilot systems. Not because I'm not excited about the cloud things they're doing. It's a very confusing business model for me to really understand. Is the stock at a $60 billion market cap? Is that a good deal or not? And I'm not too ashamed to say I have trouble understanding it and wrapping my head around how much does this actually make for numbers. There's no shame in the game of if you don't really understand a business model too well, that you just don't invest in it. I looked into this company for hours and hours and hours today. I got up at 6 in the morning and I looked into it till, I don't know, 4 in the afternoon. It was like 10 hours of work, and I responded to some comments to you guys and did some work for my business and emailing, those kinds of things. But still, I spent hours and hours looking directly into this company. And I still have a hard time understanding and seeing the vision to how much revenue is this actually going to mean, how much profits is all this going to mean, and those kinds of things, guys. So for that reason, Nvidia is not a buy for me. But if you're someone that understands their business model very well and can understand and quantitate how much revenue and profits they're going to get from these new businesses, then maybe this is a good stock for you at a forward PE of 40. Just for me, it's not. Despite the great balance sheet, despite the amazing growth numbers, despite how excited I am about the Tesla autopilot and some of the new things they're doing, some of the things I'm just like, well, how much money does that actually mean that's going to come through the door, guys? So this is a stock that's everybody's very jacked up on. That's how you get a 400% gain in 10 months. You have to have a lot of people jacked up on it. This one's got a lot of people excited right now. And it'll be fun to see out, how it all plays out, guys. Let me know in the comment section if you would buy this stock, and I would love to hear what stock you would love to see me break down on next week's video, guys. If you come across this video and you're not subscribed to the channel yet, you may want to. We talk personal finance on the channel. We talk entrepreneurship. I'm a business owner. I give a lot of entrepreneur tips, and we talk the stock market the most in this channel, including this series we do every single week. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.